PharmaPal.
You're listening to Bloomscast, the official podcast of Blooms.io, home of the bioactive library for mass spectrometry instant optimization. Let's dive into the latest in natural chemistry, bioactive discovery, and the future of lab innovation.
In many Black South African societies, like the Xhosa, Zulu, Sotho tribes, fertility is, well, it's hugely important. Children are incredibly valued.
Vital for the family, for support later on, that kind of thing.
Exactly. So infertility, unfortunately, could carry quite heavy social implications.
Ah, okay. So these herbal remedies weren't just casual things. They were tied into really deep cultural needs and beliefs.
Precisely. Which brings us to some specific practices, like antenatal medications. The article talks a lot about something called isilembezo.
Isilembezo, right. What is that exactly?
It's described as a common preparation, particularly used by Xhosa and Zulu women, typically in the last 3 months of pregnancy.
And the goal?
The main aim was to ensure an easy birth, easy confinement, and also to support the baby's healthy growth.
Okay, makes sense.
And sometimes a specific ingredient called inembe might be part of the isilembezo mix or used separately specifically to help facilitate labor.
So, like a targeted component within the broader mix.
Yeah.
Interesting. The research mentions these recipes were often kept secret.
That's right. Not just anyone would know the exact formula. A woman might get it from older women, maybe an inyanga that's a traditional doctor or healer, or even from herbalist shops, sometimes called muti shops.
Muti shops, right. And how are they made? Simple boiling?
Pretty much. Boiling the plant materials in water for quite a while. You know, a basic decoction method to get the water-soluble compounds out.
A traditional extraction technique.
Mm-hmm.
And there were rituals around it, too.
Yeah, some interesting practices, like the pot with the isilembezo infusion would be kept covered.
Covered, okay.
And the idea was that only the pregnant woman, or maybe the inyanga who prepared it, should look inside. Others looking could supposedly harm its effectiveness, or even the baby.
Wow. That really shows how much weight and belief was placed in these preparations. Did they change the dose, like towards the end of the pregnancy?
Yes, the article notes that as the due date got closer, they might make the isilembezo stronger.
To kind of encourage labor.
Exactly, to induce or augment labor. And that inembe component could be used just by itself for that purpose too.
Got it. Were there other remedies mentioned besides isilembezo?
There's imbelekising, which was used either during pregnancy or specifically to help with labor.
Imbelekising.
And also umsekalo infusions. These were apparently used more to prevent problems like miscarriage or premature birth.
So a whole system, really. Preventative labor aiding. It's quite complex.
Definitely.
Now, for you listening, trying to build that plant knowledge base, this is where it gets really interesting. The sheer number of plants involved.
It's quite striking. The review identified 57 different plant species used in these remedies.
57.
Yeah.
That's a lot of plants just for this specific context.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it speaks volumes about the depth of traditional observation and knowledge of the local flora.
And it wasn't just like one or two plant families dominating.
Not at all. They came from a wide range of botanical families. Amaryllidaceae, Apocynaceae, Liliaceae, lots of different ones. Which,
from a phytochemistry perspective, suggests they were potentially accessing a wide range of different chemical compound classes, right?
Yep.
Different families often mean different types of molecules.
Exactly. They weren't just relying on one type of plant chemistry.
Let's make this concrete. Can we look at a few examples?
Yeah.
The paper gives local names and parts used, which is great for memorization. How about Clivia miniata?
Okay, Clivia miniata, known as umaime in Zulu. The leaf was used for both isilembezo and inembe.
Leaf? Okay. What about Crinum bulbospermum?
That one's umduzi in Zulu. They use the bulb and roots soaked in water, again for isilembezo and inembe.
Bulb and roots. Soaked? Different part, different prep maybe. Rauwolfia cafra. That name rings a bell, the Rauwolfia genus.
Yes, it's known for containing certain alkaloids. Here it's called umhambamanzi in Zulu, umjela in Xhosa. Used for isilembezo inembe. The article doesn't specify which part, though.
Okay. And Asclepias fruticosa.
Using waziselokazi in Zulu. Also isilembezo inembe, part unspecified again. You see this pattern, multiple plants often listed for the same general purpose, like isilembezo.
Suggest maybe different plants were used interchangeably or maybe in specific combinations?
Could be either or both. The traditional knowledge could be very nuanced. How about Brachylaena elliptica?
Okay, what about that one?
Ifale in Zulu, Siduti in Xhosa. Here it specifies the root, used for Isilambezo.
Root for Isilambezo.
Okay.
And Calolepis laureola.
Impila in Zulu. This one's interesting. The whole plant was used, and the purpose was different. Prevention of miscarriage.
Ah, so a different application entirely. That's important to note. Gonera propensa.
Ugobo, or Uklenia in Zulu, Ifuthilam lambo in Xhosa, they use the root. And look at the uses. Isilambezo Nembe in helping expel the placenta after birth.
Wow, okay. That plant seems like a multitasker in this context. That suggests potentially several different active compounds or mechanisms.
Quite possibly. And it wasn't all roots and bulbs. Mentha longifolia?
Mint, like a wild mint.
Seems like it. Inzinzaniba, or Insina in Xhosa, Ufuthan alanonge in Zulu. The leaf was used specifically for Inembe.
Leaf for Inembe.
Oh.
Okay. And Agapanthus africanus, that's a common garden plant for many people.
Yep. Olakala or Umlambezo in Zulu, Isilakati in Xhosa. The root was used for Isilambezo and Inembe.
The root. Got it.
There are others mentioned too, like Aloe arborescens leaf, but the use isn't specified. Bowia volubilis bulb, used for Isilambezo, sometimes called Isikakathi.
Keep going. This is great for getting a feel for the range.
Sure. Eucomus autumnalis, the bulb, used for Isilambezo, Inembe, and preventing premature birth. Ledeboria cooperi, unspecified part for Isilambezo Inembe. Isimpellus torlosa, the root. Again, Isilambezo Inembe.
Seems like Isilambezo and Inembe were the most common categories.
They definitely feature heavily. Ficus natalensis, a fig tree, unspecified part, same uses. And Typha capensis, the bulrusher cattail, using the root for Isilambezo, Inembe, and placental expulsion, similar to Gonera.
Okay, stop there for a sec. Just listening to that list. It's leaves, bulbs, roots, whole plants, soaked, boiled. It really paints a picture of, well, a sophisticated traditional pharmacy. They clearly knew their local environment.
Absolutely. Different plants, different parts, different preparations for different or sometimes overlapping purposes, antenatal care, labor induction, preventing miscarriage, postpartum uses.
There's always a but in phytochemistry, isn't there?
Yeah.
The article raises a really big flag, toxicity.
A very big flag. This is critical. Out of those 57 plants they identified,
Yeah.
16 of them were reported in the literature as being potentially toxic.
16. Wow, that's more than a quarter. That's significant.
It is. And this is where, the traditional knowledge meets modern toxicology, and sometimes it's a harsh meeting.
So, for you listening, memorizing plants isn't just about the benefits. It's absolutely crucial to know the risks. What are some examples from the toxic list? Let's revisit Clivia miniata.
Right, we said the leaf was used, but the bulb of Clivia miniata contains licorine. It's rated ++ for toxicity.
What does ++ mean?
Potentially fatal if taken in large quantities. Symptoms include things like intense salivation, vomiting, diarrhea, even central nervous system depression.
Yikes. Okay. What else?
Scadoxis pernicious, bulb and leaf used, also contains licorine plus hemanthidine, same plus toxicity rating, can cause dizziness, visual problems, CNS issues.
So, closely related plants, similar toxins, similar dangers. Makes sense. How about Revolfia caffra again? We mentioned its potential bioactivity.
Yeah, but it's also on the toxic list. Rated plus amino causes severe gastrointestinal irritation.
Just a single plus this time. What does that mean?
Generally indicates toxicity, but perhaps less likely to be fatal than plus let. Still, severe irritation is obviously not good. Asclepias fruticosa, also rated plus let. This one contains cardiac glycosides.
Yeah.
Think effects like confusion, vomiting, diarrhea, convulsions, even potential liver and kidney failure.
Cardiac glycosides are serious business.
Very serious. And then there are plants like Combretum erythrophyllum, also rated plus lit, noted simply as poisonous to stock. Which is, a red flag for human use too.
Definitely. And with a really high toxicity rating, like plus let.
Yes. Calolepis laureola. Remember, the whole plant was used traditionally to prevent miscarriage,
Yep.
while the tuber contains a tractyloside, rated plus let.
Triple plus. What does that do?
Severe abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting, fluid buildup, liver cirrhosis, potentially fatal even in small amounts, extremely dangerous.
That's terrifying. Using something that dangerous, even with the best intentions.
It highlights the risk. Others rated plus include Senecio buplorides, containing pyrrolizidine alkaloids, also poisonous to stock.
Pyrrolizidine alkaloids are notorious liver toxins.
They are. Also, cotyledon cuneata and Kalanchoe thyrsophlora, they contain something called cotyledon toxin, poisonous to stock, rated plus thick.
Okay, what about agapanthus? We mentioned the root use.
Right, but the article notes its sap causes severe mouth ulceration, rated plus thick. different kind of toxicity, but still a concern.
And Boia volubilis, the bulb.
Plus rating, contains bufaginolia similar to cardiac glycosides, really, causes severe vomiting, diarrhea, salivation, potential cardiac failure.
This list is sobering.
It is. Eucomis autumnalis, which had multiple uses, also rated ++ deg, can cause abdominal pain, diarrhea, kidney failure. Then there's Silenatalensis, Erginia fecids, Cnidia crausiana, all rated ++O, all noted for causing death in livestock.
Just reading these off, it drives home the point. Plants are inherently safe just because they're natural?
Not at all. And one more. Rhasis tridenta, rated ++ sick, can cause sinus paralysis, respiratory arrest.
Paralysis and respiratory arrest. Okay. This is a powerful reminder about the dual nature of plant compounds. Therapeutic potential and serious risk often go hand in hand.
And the article really emphasizes this irony, or maybe this concern, how widely these remedies were used, yet how little formal pharmacological and toxicological research had been done, especially, considering the awareness around drug safety in pregnancy after the thalidomide disaster.
A really crucial point for anyone going into phytochemistry or drug development. You have to understand the risks. Was there any pharmacological research mentioned? Even preliminary stuff?
A little bit, yeah, but very limited. For instance, one study cited found that women who took isolambezo had a higher rate of meconium staining in the amniotic fluid.
Which can be a sign of fetal distress.
Potentially, yes. The researchers suggested it might be due to uterine hypertonia, the uterus contracting too strongly, maybe because of the herbs.
Okay, so a possible indicator of overstimulation? What about imbelecazine?
There were some case reports linking it to unexplained fetal deaths, possibly due to premature labor. Again, suggestive, but not definitive proof from just case reports.
And any lab studies, like on tissues?
Yes, a couple. One showed that a decoction of imbelecazine caused strong tonic contractions in isolated rat uterus tissue.
Tonic contractions like sustained, not the normal wave-like ones.
Exactly, which could fit with the idea of causing problems in labor.
Interesting. And Clivia miniata, the one with the licorine.
An aqueous extract of its leaves, remember the leaf was used in islambezo, and inembe was shown to have uterotonic properties in the lab, meaning it stimulates uterine contractions.
So there is some scientific basis for its traditional use in aiding labor, but it comes with that big toxicity question mark, especially from the bulb.
Precisely. There are clearly active compounds doing something, but the full picture, effectiveness, safety, proper dosage, interactions, it's largely missing.
Which leads right back to the call for more research.
Absolutely. The article strongly argues for a dedicated research program to really study the pharmacology and toxicology of these plants for the well-being of the people using them and, for science.
Okay, let's wrap this up. This deep dive, focusing on traditional South African plant use in pregnancy. It really showcases a few key things, doesn't it?
Definitely. First, this incredibly rich traditional knowledge base, decades, probably centuries of observation and use.
Second, the amazing diversity of plants involve 57 species. That's a huge data set for you as a student of phytochemistry to start digging into.
And third, the really critical issue of safety and toxicity. 16 of those plants flagged as potentially toxic.
It underscores the absolute necessity of rigorous scientific investigation. You can't just assume traditional use equals safety.
Exactly. And for you, aiming to master phytochemistry, this case study is perfect. It shows the complexity, cultural context, varied uses, potential benefits, serious risks, and the vast amount that's still unknown. Memorizing the plants is one thing, understanding this whole picture is another.
It really is. It makes you think, doesn't it? How much similar traditional knowledge exists globally, often unstudied.
Tons with potential for new medicines, but also hidden dangers.
So, a final thought to leave you with. As you build your knowledge of plants and their chemistry, always consider that bigger picture. The traditional context, the potential bioactivity, but never ever ignore the potential risks. The need for careful, ethical, and thorough research is paramount. There's a whole world of plant chemistry out there, full of secrets still waiting to be understood.
Thanks for tuning in to Bloom's Cast, brought to you by Blooms.io. Stay curious, stay connected, and we'll see you next time on the frontier of natural product innovation.
PharmaPal.